Hello, students, and welcome to today's lesson. Today, we're going to look at economics. Now, to begin with, let me give you a little background here. Economics is a very, very broad field. And when you become a senior, or maybe you're a senior now, you will take an entire class just over economics. And so we're obviously not going to cover that in a 5-minute video today, but we're going to give you just a brief overview of it and how it affects human geography, what people are doing. So first, let's talk about what is economics. Okay, economics is the study of how goods and services are produced, distributed, and consumed. So, how we get stuff. People who make the goods and services are called producers. That might be a company. And people who consume them are consumers. For example, you go to McDonald's. The producer is McDonald's and the people working in there. And the consumer is you eating the cheeseburger. Let's talk a little bit about supply and demand. Again, just the very basics. Demand is the willingness to buy a good or service. How willing are you to buy a double cheeseburger at McDonald's? Are you willing to pay $2 for it? What if it's $8? Are you going to buy that double cheeseburger? That might change. $2, lots of people buy them. Supply is the quantity of a good or service a firm is willing to produce. Would McDonald's be okay with selling double cheeseburgers for 15 cents? Probably not. Are they okay for selling for $2? Yes, because that's what they do. Would they rather sell them for $20? Yeah, people would buy them, but that's probably not going to happen. Now, in economics, there's one basic question, and we'll briefly look at this, and that's the question of scarcity. And scarcity just simply means that we have limited resources to meet our unlimited wants. Let's go back to McDonald's. I go to McDonald's. I would like a quarter pounder with cheese and a milkshake, but I have $2. Well, I have limited resources. I can't get a quarter pounder and cheese and a milkshake because I don't have enough money for them. I can only get the double cheeseburger for $2. Or let's say I have $10 and I have enough money to get the quarter pounder and the milkshake, but I also want to go out with my friends later and we're going to go watch a movie or whatever it may be. I can't spend all that money. I can't spend all my money in one spot. So I have to decide how I'm going to spread out my resources. How am I going to spend my $10? Well, I buy the double cheeseburger for $2. Now I still have $8. So that's what scarcity is in a nutshell. So let's get into economic systems. Just like there are government systems of government, there are 6 systems of economics, and they are traditional, free market, and capitalism, and command. First, we're going to look at traditional economy, and just what we need to know about this is a basic economy. Think of old times. The habits and consumer and customs rule the economy. This is where a farmer might trade eggs for milk, or you might trade beef for bread. You're going to take something, you're trading it in people in the community. Next is a market economy, also called capitalism or free market. This is the kind of economy we have in the United States. Private businesses own and decide what they're going to make, and consumers are happy to buy whatever they want to buy. You're not being forced to buy something. Companies aren't being necessarily forced to make something. Now, in most economies like ours are a mixed economy, meaning the government plays some role, like they regulate, they make sure things are safe. They make sure prices are fair, but in the most part, the consumer and the producer decide what the cost is going to be for items. And then lastly, there's a command economy. This is where the government owns the means of production. They dictate the price. They dictate where people work. This is seen in countries where socialism and communism is a political system. So in socialism, the government runs some industries, like major industries. They do healthcare. You can see this in countries like Venezuela, which is not a very good example right now, but socialism is, again, the government has a larger role in the economy. And then in communism, the government runs all industries. They set the prices, they set what people get paid. They essentially tell you what you can buy. And North Korea is an example of this. These work together with political and economic systems can work together. Command economies, where the government dictates, generally require a strong ruler like an autocracy, maybe a communist system or a dictatorship. And the democracies generally have capitalism. Yeah, the market decides. This is where businesses are free to do what they want. So that is a very, very, very brief look at government and at economic systems, tying in with our government systems. And please answer the questions on the notes below. You can go back and look at these notes as well within the area, within what we're looking at.